So, guys, we were learning about Union, the Indian Union. We have seen yesterday that Article 1 to the Article 4 of the Indian Constitution deals with this particular part. Guys, you have to understand that Article 1 says that India, that is Bharat, is a union of states. It is a union of states. So, what does this emphasis on union says? In the earlier classes, we have learnt that Indian system is federal in nature. Then how come we are using the word union? So, Dr. Ambedkar explained that thing in his speech. All the briefings are there in the last lecture. Article 1 describes Indian territory, including the states, the union territories, and those regions which India might acquire in the upcoming times. You have to understand that there are uniform rules for all the states, in the country, and also the union territories. But there are exceptions to it for their better functioning or for the better functioning of a community in them. Examples are the state of Maharashtra, Gujarat, then the state of Nagaland, Assam, Manipur, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Sikkim, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, Goa, and Karnataka under the Part 11 of the under the Part 21 of the Constitution. Pardon me for the mistake. It's Part 21 of the Constitution. So, why these things? Because these states have those communities which are scheduled in nature, say the scheduled caste, the scheduled tribes, and for their efficient progress, it is utmost important for the constitution to grant them certain powers considerably comparing to the other states. So that is it. Also, the fifth and the sixth schedule gives different provisions for the administration of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes areas, the scheduled tribes areas. Now, you have to understand that there are two terms, territory of India and the Union of India. The latter term, Union of India, is very narrow in nature. It only comprises of the states. But the former word, the former concept, territory of India, is wider in its aspect. In what sense it is wider in its aspect? As we have quoted, Article 1 of the Constitution explains that territory of India not only comprises the states but also the union territories and also that region or those regions which India might acquire in the upcoming times. Then you have to understand that the word Union of India or the word union is more unitary in nature, which exemplifies that the states, they are being controlled by the center. But when it comes to the territory of India, it says that the states are coming together in a federal format to govern the country as a whole. So, guys, India is a sovereign nation, it is a sovereign country. What does sovereignty means? What does the concept of sovereignty says this? All this we have learnt in the earlier chapter. India is sovereign in its internal and external matters. India can acquire new territories. In fact, India has acquired new territories after independence, that is after 15th August 1947. All this can happen. All this can happen only via the international laws, the international standards, that is through subjugation, conquest, secession, and etc. India has acquired territories of Daman Diu, Goa, Sikkim, and etc. after its independence. Article 2 of the Constitution has two things to say. It first says about the formation of new states and including them into the Union of India. And the second concept, it says that the power to establish new states. The first refers to the admission of states which are already in existence, while the second refers to the establishment of states which were not in existence before. Notably, Article 2 relates to the admission or establishment of new states that are not the part of the Union of India, and Article 3, on the other hand, relates to the formation or changes in the existing states of the Union of India. Article 3 authorizes the Parliament to form a new state by separation of territory from any state or by uniting two or more states or parts of states or by uniting any territory to a part of any state. So what does this mean? We will understand this concept just after a few minutes in this particular video only. Then the increase of the area of any state, it can be done that there can be an increase of an area of the state. Diminish the area of any state, it can happen there. Diminishing of an area of any state can happen. Alter the boundaries of any state and alter the name of any state. For example, the state of Odisha was later named as the state of Orissa. Then there are other examples of like first I said like form a new state by separation of territory. That is the latest example we can understand is that of separation of Telangana from that of the Andhra Pradesh region. Earlier it used to be as United Andhra Pradesh with Hyderabad as the capital, but now they have been separated. Andhra Pradesh has its own capital named as Amravati, and Telangana has its capital as Hyderabad. New states have been formed. However, Article 3 lays down two conditions in this regard. One, a bill contemplating the above changes can be introduced in the Parliament only with the prior recommendation to the President. All these things, if there was this particular thing in the news earlier that Mamata Banerjee, the CM, the Chief Minister of Bengal, West Bengal, wanted to change the name of West Bengal to Bengal. Since why to use the word West when there is no East Bengal? It is now it has been turned into Bangladesh, and there was no point in using the word West Bengal. So for doing that, while doing that, the Parliament, whoever wants to introduce this bill, has to take that bill take that bill earlier to the President of India. And the other condition is like before recommending the bill, the President has to refer the same to the state legislature concerned for expressing its view within a specified period for changing the name of West Bengal to Bengal. The President will take that thing to the respected legislature, that is to the respected state legislature, Vidhan Sabha of West Bengal, will take all their views in consideration, and after doing so, he can ask the Parliament to start their discussion on this. Further, you have to understand it is not necessary for the President to take the views of the state legislatures into consideration, even if they are expressed on time. Means he is not bound by the views and opinions of the MLAs of the concerned state legislature. And about a union territory, if the if there is something to be happening to the territory of the union territories, the president does not have to or does not go to the state legislature for any discussion or for any views. The parliament can directly alter the boundaries of the union territory. Now you must be getting the point, like why article the abrogation of article 370, which concerns to the state of Kashmir, to the former state of Jammu and Kashmir, is actually very tyrannical in nature, because the president has to go to the state legislature, though he is not bound by the views of the state legislature, but still he or she has to go to the state legislature for the public opinion which is guaranteed by their representatives. But what did the central government do? They imposed a presidential rule in the state during the August 2019 period, and due to that the state legislature was already dissolved. And if the state legislature is already dissolved, then president is not bound to move to the state legislature, because there is no state legislature in action. So what will happen? The parliament can directly alter the boundaries of the state, and the state came to non-existence. It was distracted into two parts. One part remaining the Ladakh region as the union territory, and one as the Jammu and Kashmir as the union territory. That is why the abrogation of Article 370 is deemed to be unconstitutional in nature, in the opinion of many journalists, writers, and people, not in the opinion of Supreme Court yet. So this is it. Then you have to understand that the constitution has given whole authority to the parliament to work on the Indian map to its will. So the boundaries of the state can be altered with the sole wish of the parliament. Therefore, India is rightly described as an indestructible union of destructible states, as compared to the US, which is described as indestructible union of indestructible states. Because in the United States of America, the boundaries of the states cannot be altered without the consent of the state. Here the president cannot do anything as compared to India. All can be done by the state legislature only, on the opinion of the state legislature only. So this is the significance of Article 3 we have understood. Further complications, further understanding of the subject matter, we will be discussing in the next lecture. Thank you.